It's all right.
He'll boost the sound when they show it, so. Take it up here a little bit.
That's okay. Once I'm on the mic.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to East Brunswick High School football. My name is John Meggiolaro, and I'll be bringing you the play-by-play for this evening's game between Brick Township and East Brunswick High School. And joining me once again is Phil Hill and Jim Allinder. Gentlemen, our first night game of 1986, and actually our first night game here at Channel 8, and I want to talk about that a little later, but let's talk about the game at hand. East Brunswick comes in after a tie with Cherokee, a 14-14 tie, and they're fighting a tough East Brunswick, rather a Brick team, and one that we really don't know too much about. But let's talk a little bit about Brick, and we'll start with you, Phil.
I'll tell you, Brick is coming off a uncharacteristic-like season for them. They were 2-5-2 last year, and talking to some of the players and the coaches, they seem to have a mission this year. They have a lot to prove. They're going to have a tough time proving it, however, against this East Brunswick team. The things that they have to do are pretty simple. They must keep East Brunswick from controlling the ball. They must find some way to move the ball themselves against East Brunswick defense, and they must hope for a low-scoring game. If the game's a high-scoring game, Brick's going to be out of it, in my opinion. There's a lot of similarities between these two teams besides the green and white colors, the school colors, and both of them have sophomore quarterbacks starting who also do the punting. Both of them will put in 5 or 6 different backs at any given time. And both of them are about the same size on the line and as far as the backs are concerned. The Green Dragons are going to try to set the tone for the year for themselves. They have great tradition. Their coach, Warren Wolf, who's been here for 28 years, is used to winning. The town is not used to losing, and they're going to try to turn things around today.
Okay, thanks, Phil. Jimmy, East Brunswick now, 14-14 tie with Cherokee. A lot of questions that we talked about early before the game seem to be answered.
Yeah. But first, I think we ought to hire Phil Hill to be a scout for East Brunswick. He did a tremendous job, I thought. John, yeah. I think tonight we have an opportunity to find out if East Brunswick's performance last week against Cherokee was a flash in the pan or indicative of a team that's really headed in the right direction toward a playoff berth. I think Brick is a good test. We have all kinds of interesting stories surrounding this game tonight, some of which I'm going to point out later as we go along. The fact is, East Brunswick has a 2-game winning streak against these Green Dragons, and that hasn't sat very well with the head coach, Warren Wolf. I can imagine he's going to try to employ every psychological tool he knows to give his team some sort of mental advantage, but let's face it, football is a physical game, and in that respect, I have to think East Brunswick has an advantage. They've got Mark Harmon, Bill Brunig, Mac Miller, and Joe DeVito in the backfield. Kenny Press, of course, is his primary receiver. And Brian Forte, the quarterback, which we're going to talk about a lot. But defensively, I think the Bears are going to try to repeat last week's performance, where they literally out-conditioned Cherokee on the line. And I have to agree with Phil. I'd rate East Brunswick the favorite tonight.
Okay, the Green Dragons have come on the field. We're waiting for East Brunswick. This series has a rather long history to it in terms of the rivalry. There's been a lot of competitiveness, talk going back and forth over the years between who's the better team, who has the better program. no real insight yet as to what kind of brick team this is this year. We've seen East Brunswick. We know what East Brunswick's all about. Phil, I think from a brick standpoint, this is a big game for them in the sense that it starts off their season, and more importantly, it's going to answer some of the questions that Marcus Borden faced last week in his first game.
Yeah, exactly right, John. This brick team is a very young team. Last year, people had them rated highly in the state, and that was their downfall. And speaking to one of the coaches this year, he says, we're not rated in the state this year, we're not even rated locally, and we're pretty happy about it. We have some young players that are ready to play. They talked a lot about trying to make football fun this year. And anytime I hear a coach talking about making football fun, you know they're trying to rebound from what has been a long season. And last year was a very long season for Brick.
All right, I would like to go back just a week. We had, I keep repeating it, but it was such an exciting game, that Cherokee game. More importantly, and I think for Marcus Borden and for the coaching staff, there are a number of questions answered. For instance, the leadership qualities of Forte. I was very much impressed by Jimenez, by the young sophomores, DeVito and Harmon. Plus played his outstanding game. The line did an extremely fine job. Brenowitz, Bazinko, Novak. A lot of those guys were going both ways. So you had to be impressed with the game. And more importantly, the fact that East Brunswick dominated the game to the degree that they did. Jimmy, I know you've had some insights talking with Marcus on last week's game. Maybe you'd like to share them with us.
Yeah, that's correct, John. I'd like to say that my colleague at the Sentinel, Mark Rossman, had a column this week which I think really puts it best about Brian Forte. He talks about one play in that last drive in which Forte was caught in the backfield, if you gentlemen remember, got away, rolled out to the left, and then he sort of saw Jimenez covered and pointed to an area where he would be open, tossed the pass. It was a crucial completion and continued that drive. That said a lot about Brian Forte's ability to work under pressure. So I think that game was a valuable experience in that sense for him. 14 of 28 with 115 yards and a couple of key completions. I think we saw Kenny Kruss emerge as a really receiver to be reckoned with. A receiver to be reckoned with. A lot of other interesting things too. Just to get back to this game before we have the kickoff, if we look at the field, we notice that East Brunswick is in its green jerseys, okay? Now, usually the home team has the green jerseys and the away team has a white, but my understanding from talking to Marcus Borden is that Bricks Townships didn't have their white jerseys ready on order or something like that. I find that hard to believe, which forces East Brunswick to wear their dark jerseys, and under the lights, you know, you look for every edge you possibly can get. It could hurt the pass receiving game.
I'll tell you, John, Warren Wolf uses every edge he can. I think what he's done today is sort of what St. Louis used to do to Dallas Cowboys, force them to use those dark blue uniforms where they didn't play as well. And Warren Wolf is a man I tried to approach several times this week. You just couldn't get near him. Of course, he is the deputy superintendent of school, so he is a busy man. But we even had a hard time trying to get the defensive team. So he's not about to give East Brunswick any kind of edge.
Okay, as we look out to the center of the field, we see that both the Brick and the East Brunswick captains are talking to the officials, and we should have the coin toss shortly. Let me say this for our viewers and preface this up front. This is a night game, the first night game we've ever covered at Channel 8. So please bear with us if the picture is a little different than what you're normally used to seeing, if the numbers are a little more difficult to read. We're trying our best to provide you with the best quality picture and sound that we can. And so we'll do our best. Please bear with us, but we're very pleased to be here to bring this game. And we'd like to thank the Brick Athletic Director, Jim Rockefeller, for his help and assistance in allowing us to come here, as well as Charlie King at East Brunswick High School. So we're about ready for the opening kickoff as both coaches talk to their respective teams before the start of the game.
John, I might also point out that the field conditions are not comparable to what is at East Brunswick High School. We should say that the athletic director, Jim Rochford, had mentioned that they had a problem with the soil here, which caused a lot of the turf in the midfield area to die, and that is all sod down there. We don't know what the footing is going to be like. I can tell you it's very uneven in certain areas, and we'll just have to see what happens. John, I see East Brunswick has elected to receive the ball.
That's right, East Brunswick will be in the dark green jerseys, as Jimmy said. They'll be on the right of your screen, going from right to left. Brick, the home team, will be in white. East Brunswick has back deep Ken Pruss, Mark Harmon, and Bill Brunig. The kicker for Brick is number 10, who is also their quarterback, and I believe his name is Durkin. It's Todd Durkin. So he'll kick it off for Brick, and East Brunswick will have the ball first and go on offense. A very warm and muggy night here in Brick Township.
We're waiting for the bugs to attack us, John.
We're just hoping the fog doesn't roll in.
East Brunswick likes to do a lot of things off the kickoff. They'll fake, reverse, they'll go with the reverse, and they'll do that to keep you thinking about it. They'll fake one thing one time and come back with it another time. So you can look for that here.
All right, the crowd's on their feet for the Brick side as we await the start of this ball game. East Brunswick comes in 0-1, and this is the first game for Brick Township. And here we go. Nice kick. It's going to be fielded by Harmon at the 10-yard line. Fakes a reverse. Harmon still has the ball. Nice hole. Harmon's across the 30, close to the 35. Nice run back. Mark Harmon.
The young sophomore is showing his stuff already. An excellent return.
Well, gentlemen, I said before last week that we're going to see a lot of big numbers from this fellow this year. This might be the night to start.
All right, East Brunswick. Brian Forte's at quarterback. He brings him out. That's Brunig and Miller in the backfield. Jimenez is wide left, Pruss in the wing. This is Miller. Miller crosses the 35. He'll pick up about 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6 for East Brunswick.
East Brunswick with its power game ahead. I'm going to try to get some of the offensive line players for East Brunswick as they move along here.
Second and 6. The ball is marked on the East Brunswick 36-yard line. Split backfield. Now it's Harmon and Miller. Forte fakes to Harmon, looking to throw. He's got some time. Now being pressured. He'll lose about a yard.
Well, I'll tell you what, looking at Brick's defense, they don't look rather large out there, but I'll tell you what, they're very aggressive.
You can give Brick secondary credit for that tackle. They had the East Brunswick receivers well covered.
Phil, I just saw East Brunswick player kick the first piece aside off the ground, so it has to be very loose down there. By the way, the starting line is Larry Novak over the center, flanked by Gene Kammerer and Rob Perez at the guard, Scott Brenowitz, and Ted Pazinko at the tackles.
Okay, Forte with the 3rd and 8. It's a handoff, an inside handoff to Miller. He fumbles the ball on the way down. The referee will say that he was down before the fumble. Big break for East Brunswick here early, but they're still short of the first down. It'll bring up a 4th down.
I agree with you, John. That's a real big break. I mean, of course he was down, but it doesn't always get called that way.
We'll see what East Brunswick does. 4th and about 2. Remember that, Josh Miller's in, so it will be a punt. I was going to say, Forte sometimes moves into that shotgun, but he is a punter.
Perhaps a little too early to be adventurous.
Josh Miller will punt for East Brunswick. Gets a nice kick off. It's going to be fielded by the Brick player at about the 10-yard line. He gets up to the 15 and he's taken down. We're going to have to ask our audience to bear with us in terms of identifying Brick players. The program we have is in alphabetical order and not by number. Number 22 for Brick was Andy Ramsey, who brought back the kick.
Just to set that defensive line for you again, Novak's over top the center with Pazinko and Brenowitz as they form the front three. DeVito is the left linebacker. I see Press at the right linebacker. We'll pick up the other ones as we go along.
Brick comes out, 1st and 10 on about their own 21. Durkin is the quarterback. They have a split backfield, man in motion. Here's a handoff to the wingback in motion, number 29. And that's Troutweiler.
Defensive backfield, John Massoni, number 32. Rick Oken, number 40. Billy Brunig, number 2. And Dave Novak, number 38. That's the defensive backfield for East Brunswick. Cross, I suspect, is going to be like a roving back on the 46. He'll either play deep, as he is on this play, or he'll go up to the line.
Troutweiler picked up 2. It'll be 2nd and 8 for Brick. They have a single back formation now. Now they shift. Split backfield. Strong to the right side. Man in motion. Quarterback still has the ball. That's Durkin. He has an open field, and Durkin's going to be taken down. A game-saving tackle at that point. But I think it was Bruin. Not sure.
If that tackle was not made, Durkin was going all the way.
Kenny Press, I believe that was. He grabbed him by the leg there and saved him.
It's a 1st down for Brick. The ball spotted at their own 37-yard line. Durkin on a fake, cut the ball and went around his left side. No score. We're into the opening minutes of the 1st quarter.
I think Brick's operating with 10 men on the field.
Durkin looking to pass, being pressured, gets it off. He's got his man, number 87. There's a flag thrown, and we're going to have a clip. Paul Farley made the reception, but we're going to have a clip against Brick.
Yeah, that was Scott. Yeah, John, that was Scott Arado, number 24, that did a crackback on Rick Oken there to spring the receiver. So we're going to go back 15 yards from that point. Rick has shown some ability to move the ball, Phil.
They certainly have. Paul Farley is the best receiver for Brick. He has excellent hands. He did a simple little curl out, went between the zone and made a nice catch.
Okay, they're going to mark off the penalty right now. It is a clip against Brick. The ball will come back to the Brick 38-yard line.
That's a 43, John.
43, I'm sorry. Having trouble picking up the yard markers.
A lot of green out there tonight.
None of which is the grass, unfortunately. But all right, Brick will come back with a 1st and about 5. Fake to the wingback. Durkin has the ball. He's looking to pass. Whoa, almost intercepted. Fine play by East Brunswick's number 38. Is that Novak?
Yeah, it's Larry Novak, sure. Yeah, he reacted very well to that. Excuse me, Dave Novak. Larry's the number 72, the center. Dave Novak was injured last week. Returns this week. Apparently had enough time to get out there and react well to the ball.
Durkin was looking for Hennigan on the play.
Brick is running from Delaware wing T. They'll do a lot of shifting, but basically they come back to that Delaware wing T, and they'll throw off it, they'll run off it, they'll do everything off it.
All right, 2nd and 5 for Brick. Ball on their 43-yard line, no score. 7 minutes and 33 seconds here in the 1st quarter. That's a handoff to the up back. Flag is thrown. I think we're going to have face mask against East Brunswick. Ball was carried by Malillo. It is face mask against East Brunswick.
Big holes out there.
I tell you, it's not. East Brunswick seems to be somewhat confused defensively. As I said before, Brick's doing a lot of shifting, but basically they're running the Delaware wing T, and Coach Gordon has seen it. He saw it last year, and they were able to stop it. But right now, this young East Brunswick defense seems somewhat confused.
All right, the face mask penalty brings the ball deep in East Brunswick territory. It's spotted on the East Brunswick 26-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Green Dragons.
John, I think East Brunswick are going to have to put some pressure on Durkin back there before he gets a chance to step back and pass or hand off.
Here's the shift again, back into the Delaware T. It's Durkin. Hand off to Malillo. Malillo's down to the 10.
East Brunswick is just not making the contact on the front line like they did against Cherokee last week.
They're not making the contact on the front line and not making the reads once Brick breaks through the line. As I said, they seem thoroughly confused.
And that's a Brick first down. The ball is on the East Brunswick 7. 6:44 to go in the first period. We have no score. Murillo's in the backfield. They'll shift once again. There's Durkin, hand off to Murillo. He'll pick up about 4 yards. Bring up a second down.
I'll tell you that Murillo, he's a small back, but he keeps those legs turning, and he's running well.
Brenowitz got through the gap that time, slowed Murillo up, but the little guy just broke through and got his yards.
Gentlemen, let me say, if you remember the Brick games that I've attended, East Brunswick has always had a problem with that Delaware T formation for about a period or two, and then they seem to solve it. All right, second down for Brick, 2nd and 7. Murillo and Jurado in the backfield behind Durkin. This is a handoff to Murillo again. It's apparent that Murillo's the workhorse in this Brick offense.
Well, John, the closer they get to the goal line, the more you'll see Jurado. Jurado is really the workhorse for them. Murillo has been doing most of the running in this drive, but I think the closer you get to the goal line, you're going to see Jurado more.
All right, it's 3rd and 2 for Brick. The ball is at the East Brunswick 6. Durkin calling the signals. Here's Jurado. Jurado's going to score.
He was right in there.
5:05 left in the first period, and Jurado takes it in from the 6-yard line.
Gentlemen, let's watch the extra point real closely.
Durkin is also the place kicker. He does about everything here.
Left-footed, too.
Snap is up. The kick is good. Brick goes out in front, 7-0.
Well, I think that drive has to give Brick a lot of confidence. First time they touched the ball, really experienced no major problems moving it down the field. East Brunswick, on the other hand, was not able to do all that well in the first drive. They seem to be able to move the ball. The one series didn't get the first down, though, but I don't know. There has to be some concern on the East Brunswick side.
There has to be a lot of concern. The drive by Brick was almost too easy. They methodically went down the field. They had great execution. That's what it amounts to. It's hard to figure out this game of football. We had a team last week with the size of Cherokee and East Brunswick seemingly handled handily. And here we come with a much smaller team, but executing well. And they took it right down the field.
That was a 79-yard drive by Brick. The first offensive possession of the game.
Well, the defensive coach, Tom Gillanella, said that Brick had the best practice that they've had in the 13 years that he's been here last week. So he was anticipating a good game by them, and so far they've shown that.
I'd like to take a moment and note that East Brunswick has a fine crowd in the stands. A lot of people making the trip up, or actually down.
John, we're right on top of the Brick crowd tonight. I guess that's why fans might be hearing an awful lot of extra noise.
Yeah, we apologize, but there's nothing we can do. We're at the liberty of the host team. We're actually below the press box, almost in the middle of the stands. So we apologize for any sound problems you may be experiencing. Anyway, Durkin will kick it off for Brick. East Brunswick has Press, Harmon, and Brunig back deep. Good kick. This is going to be Harmon once again from the 10-yard line. Mark Harmon darts his way through across the 35 and about to the 36. East Brunswick will start their second offensive possession of the quarter on their own 36. We've got 4 minutes and 59 seconds to go here in the first quarter, and Brick leads 7-0. If you're just joining us, I'm John Meggiolaro, and I'm being joined by Phil Hill and Jim Allinder were at Brick High School, Brick Township, for East Brunswick's first away game of the season. Forte brings him out of the huddle. That's Brunig and Miller in the backfield. Forte rolls right, he's going to throw. Looking for a receiver. He just gets it off before he goes out of bounds, looking for Pruss, overthrown. Bring up a second down.
Well, we're not going to criticize, gentlemen, but, you know, last week, Matt Miller gets the ball, rambles 21 yards for a touchdown. We're not in any type of situation where East Brunswick has to be doing desperate things. Don't you think they ought to maybe just settle down and just give the ball to Miller a couple times and test that brick line?
Well, that pass was intended for the flat, but Pruss wasn't open, and Forte tried to wave him deeper this time, so it wasn't intended to be a real long pass.
All right, 2nd and 10 for East Brunswick. Ball on their own 36. I formation. That's Miller and Harmon in the backfield. That's Harmon with the ball. Harmon twisting, he breaks loose. Harmon's going to go. He needs one block. He cuts to the outside. Harmon's going to go all the way. Touchdown, East Brunswick.
Harmon.
What a play. He was stopped at about the 40-yard line, his own 40, and then broke out of the pack. For the records, that was 64
yards, John.
64?
Yeah, it's from the 36-yard line.
You know, John,
Linesman moved the marker.
Mark Harmon has been doing that since Pop Warner, so most fans aren't really surprised to see him do that. I think they're just surprised to see him do it this early. He's a young sophomore, hasn't had much varsity experience, and he does a spin move like that at the line of scrimmage, and look where he ends up. What a run.
Okay, Josh Miller on for the extra point to tie the ball game up. Here's the kick. It's up, and it's good, and we have a tie ball game, 7-7 with 4:16 to go here in the first quarter.
John and Phil, I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. If Mark Harmon can stay injury-free during his career, he is going to be the best running back that East Brunswick has ever had.
Best running back East Brunswick's ever had?
That's a mouthful there, Jim.
That's a lot. You got Ed Krillis.
That's right.
Pete Gutsack. You got Beleza. You got Derek Rowe. You got a number of backs. So if he does that,
coming,
he'll be something.
Keep him coming at me. I'll stick by that statement all the way.
What a run.
They're really great. And, you know, it's the tool that East Brunswick needs at a time like that.
Well, you know, I think we all were standing here waiting to see how East Brunswick was going to respond to that first call. That was just a great individual effort by Mark Harmon, but it's got to give the whole team a lift. I didn't see any heads go down after Brick scored, and I was glad to see that. They responded nicely. Now it remains to see if they can hold Brick.
Right. And I have to think that a run like that will just give the defense a little injection of
So
power.
Mark Harmon goes 64 yards, and we have a penalty that was called. It must have been on the extra point, a personal foul against Brick. And so they're moving the Brick front line back, and East Brunswick will kick off from the Brick 45, I believe.
This will be an extra point or field goal for Josh Miller.
Let me apologize to our fans. We are having a hard time reading the line markers or the yard markers. They're very low on the field, and between the lights and the color of them, we're having a difficult time picking up where the ball is actually marked. Anyway, Josh Miller will kick it off from the Brick 45. We have a tie ball game, 7-7. That ball's into the end zone. And number 22 for Brick will not bring it out.
I tell you, Jim, I almost can't wait for the series of downs to see how East Brunswick responds and see if Brick can do things they did in that first drive and see if East Brunswick will respond to it. Will they make adjustments or will they just get tougher?
Well, I just think the key is getting penetration on the defensive line in there. Just not allowing the quarterback to just do the things that he has been doing.
All right, Brick comes out, 1st and 10 for their second possession. We have a tie ball game, 7-7. Ball's on the Brick 20. It's number 30 for Brick on the reverse.
First hit seemed to be by Joey DeVito. You know, it's not so spectacular that a sophomore is starting for varsity, but when you think that a sophomore is starting as a linebacker, that says something about the individual kid.
Okay, that was Bohack on the carry. He picked up 1. It's 2nd and 9 for Brick on their own 21.
DeVito again. Another superb tackle by Joey DeVito. You know, Jim, if I may amplify on that, there have been sophomores that have come out and started at defensive backs. They've come out and even at running backs, but very rarely do you put a sophomore to start at linebacker. They got so much to learn. They got to learn about defenses, and they got to be physical and aggressive at the same time. Most sophomores just aren't prepared to do that. Joe DeVito is.
I see Rob Schaefer, number 33, has come in to replace Novakson has replaced Brunig.
3rd and 8 for Brick. Ball is on their own 22. Durkin calling signals. He drops back to pass, looking to his left. He's being pressured. He's going to be sacked. The ball's loose. Brick recovers it at about the 7-yard line.
And that's the type of pressure we're talking about.
Well, not only that, all the receivers were covered well downfield. That's what caused that tackle. East Brunswick has come alive defensively.
All right, Brick, the ball is spotted at the Brick 7, so East Brunswick will have good field position. 2:37 to go in the first quarter, and back deep for East Brunswick is Press. Durkin will do the punting. A lot of pressure on Durkin, but a fine kick. Press is going to field it at about his own, at the Brick 40. He'll take it down to the Brick 35, where East Brunswick will have it 1st and 10.
Well, Jimmy, you complained last week about Press calling for a fair catch, and here's a situation under lights, and the guys are pretty near to him. 5 yards, and he doesn't call for a fair catch. He picks up a few yards out of it.
There was about 8 Brick tacklers waiting for him. I think East Brunswick's strategy on that was to go for the block. They almost had it, by the way. Good field position.
Just to answer a question you may have had, this is where we may see Matt Miller begin to carry the ball.
Correct.
Anyway, Forte brings him out. 1st and 10. We're under 2 minutes now in the first quarter. Forte looking to throw. He's got Press right flat, wide open. Press cuts it up. At about the 25, that should be close to a 1st down. We'll see where they mark it. Just short of the 1st down, Phil.
No, John, I think Marcus Gordon, even besides Brick early drive, really doesn't have any fear of Brick. I don't think he's going to be too conservative. I think he's going to open it up and do a lot of things. And from what I understand, he has some good reason to.
All right, let's call it 2nd and 1. I formation. Miller and Harmon behind him. Oaken now is out wide left. This is Harmon. Right up the middle, big hole. Harmon down close to the 15.
Great running.
Isn't he some type of runner?
1st down, East Brunswick.
Sort of see the same type of confusion that East Brunswick experienced on defense with Brick now.
Phil, I would say, what would you call that? A delayed draw where Harmon's given the ball and allowed to pick a hole?
Sort of delayed draw, sure. He can go any kind of way, and with the speed and the build he has, you can let him do that.
All right, Miller and Brunig now in the backfield behind Forte. 1st down for East Brunswick. The ball is at the 17-yard line of Brick. Flags are thrown. I think we're going to have a procedure call. Let's wait for the official call here. It is procedure against East Brunswick, and that'll move him back 5 yards.
Gordon choosing to shuffle Harmon in and out with Brunig and Oaken.
That'll bring up a 1st and 15 now for East Brunswick. The ball is on the Brick 22-yard line. 7-7 with about 38 seconds to go.
Watch out
here
for Dave Novak going over middle on this.
Forte looking for Press in the corner. Real confusion on that play.
I'll tell you, Kenny Press could have been called for offensive interference on that. He was going up for the ball and pushed his hands out a little bit and hit the defender. Officials chose not to call it.
2nd down now for East Brunswick.
If East Brunswick doesn't make the 1st time, it's going to be Miller time, folks.
2nd and 15, the ball on the brick 22. East Brunswick is threatening. Miller and Brunig in the backfield. Forte looking to throw, rolls right, being pressured. Gets away. He's got room to run.
He's got room to run. And it looks like we're going to see Josh Miller on a field goal try.
Forte got up close to the 15-yard line. It'll be 3rd and about 10 now for East Brunswick.
I'm sorry, it was a 2nd down.
We have a timeout, East Brunswick. I'm sorry, it's the end of the quarter. We're so wrapped up in the game already.
I tell you, John, Brian Forte, again, I'm looking at him closely, and for a sophomore, he shows a lot of things. There are a lot of people who had been rolling out like that and ready to wing the ball. He knew that his receivers recovered, held on the ball, picked up some yards, kept possession of the ball, more importantly for hopefully a touchdown drive. If not, they can call on Miller.
All right, as the first quarter comes to an end, we have a 7-7 ball game. A lot of action. We saw a brick team march down the field about 71 yards for their first score. And then we saw Harmon break one 64 yards. And that's the scoring thus far. Typical East Brunswick brick game thus far.
I'd like to think they're going to try that pass to Pruss, maybe in the end zone, deep end zone.
Well, Marcus Borden's on the field talking about it. Here's another opportunity, much like last week where East Brunswick had several opportunities against Cherokee inside the 40. And now it's a 3rd down and 9. The ball has been placed at the 17-yard line of brick.
Hey, John, the soccer team is off to a 4-1 start now. This week they had a win over North Brunswick 2-1, and they shut out Cerebral 4-0. They've been doing well. They have a big game tomorrow. That would be Saturday against St. Joe's.
All right, we're ready to start the second period here at Brick Township. Big 3rd down play. Forte fakes. He still has the ball, being pressured. Rolls to his right, looking for Pruss. There's a flag there. I'm sorry, it was Jimenez.
Brick Township receiver was all on his back. The official was standing right on top of it and made the proper call.
I think that was Hennigan for Brick, who came over Jimenez's back.
Crowd doesn't seem to be protesting that too much.
That's going to be a first down for East Brunswick.
Yeah.
Automatic.
On the 6-yard line?
Let's see where they spot it, Jim. They're marking it off from the original line of scrimmage.
So it would be half the distance if it's 15, yeah.
Let's call it the 6-yard line. 1st and goal now for East Brunswick. 11:54. We've just started the second period.
Of course, it's still a first down.
All right, East Brunswick will get 4 cracks into the end zone. Split backfield, Miller and Brunig. Forte, that's Brunig, big hole. Brunig's gonna score. Beautiful hole.
Well, I have to think that Brick, having scouted East Brunswick, must have thought they were going to go with some sort of pass play or go wide to the right. They just fooled everybody that time. Gave it to Brunig. It was about a, 8-yard run?
6 yards, Jim.
6 yards.
He went in virtually untouched, John. East Brunswick's execution was perfect. I believe that was number 72 for East Brunswick.
That was Larry Novak.
Larry Novak made a great block there.
Yep.
Great block.
So Josh Miller will try to put East Brunswick up by 7.
I am impressed with how East Brunswick just steadied itself after that consistent drive that Brick had generated and come back to score twice quickly.
Okay, Miller for the extra point. It's a fake. Pruss has got the ball. He's looking to put it up for a 2-point conversion, and it falls incomplete. So East Brunswick leads 13-7 as the 2-point conversion fails for East Brunswick.
The element of surprise did not work that time.
Well, some of you fans might be wondering, well, why? Just why go for a 2-point conversion at this? One thing about Marcus Borden teams is that he's kept fun in football. He's making it exciting for them. The kids love to play for him. He's a player's coach. I mean, you don't have to be a player's coach in order to win, but on high school level, it's very important that you are. And he gives the kids something to think about rather than the traditional methodical stuff.
We're going to try to fill in with some results of the other fall teams as we go along. I mentioned the boys soccer team off to a 4-1 start. The girls team, they had their first close game of the season, knocking off Westfield 2-1, but 5-0 at this point. That was the first goal that was scored against them this year, and they have been looking terrific so far, with Lisa Gagno leading the way, Leanne Schwartz, Stacy Schweika, Gina Puglisi being the top people, scorers on that team.
Jimmy, Brick seems to have a strange alignment here for receiving the ball. They got 4 men back on near the 10-yard line.
Yeah, you try everything, but you keep in the lane for East Brunswick and just do your job.
All right, Josh Miller, high kick, going to be fielded at about the 7-yard line. Number 22, Ramsey.
I said at the top of the game, John, that Brick had to hope for a low-scoring game. If it's a high-scoring game, Brick, you better believe Brick's going to be on the opposite end of it. They knew that they had to keep East Brunswick from scoring and maybe hold them down to 2 touchdowns. And it doesn't appear that they're able to do that. And East Brunswick looks rather comfortable right now.
All right.
I'm sorry, John. I think this will be the test right now to find out just exactly what direction this game is going to be headed.
Brick, 1st and 10, the ball on their own 21. They trail 13-7. Durkin is the quarterback. This is Melillo, and he may pick up a yard.
There's a little bit of confusion in the backfield. It's amazing, you know, how after that first drive, it just seems to be a little doubt in the backfield on Brick's part. They're just not comfortable out there. East Brunswick, on the other hand, is just, they're making the penetration that they need to.
Well, I'll tell you, Jimmy, I'm not astute enough to pick up whatever adjustment East Brunswick's made, but apparently they made some adjustment. I have to think it's more than just telling the kids to be tougher.
Okay.
All right, 2nd and 9, 10:44 to go before halftime. Brick trails. They have the ball, though, on their own 22. Durkin still has it. He's rolling left. He's got some running room. He's going to run with it. Durkin is taken down at about the 25. He'll be short of the first down. Bring up a 3rd down call.
But it's a good run by the sophomore. This Durkin, he really mirrors Brian Forte. Both of them are sophomores. Both of them punt. And both of them are at the top of their class. This Durkin is number 4 in his class, and I remember Brian from last year probably being number 1 in his class. So both are very bright kids as well.
It seemed like they got a lot more yardage than they actually did on that play, John.
The ball is just over the 25-yard line of Brick. It's 3rd and 5 for them. Durkin is going to pass. He's dropping back, looking deep. He's looking for Hennigan, thrown wide. And bring Brick into a punting situation once again.
Durkin didn't have his right stuff. He was a little shaky on that pass there. I asked Marcus Borden about Durkin, and Marcus knows him from camp. And Coach Borden had a little chuckle in his eyes. So all he would say is that, we know the kid. And he didn't seem to be terribly concerned about Durkin's passing ability.
Now, Brick has been confused with not putting all its players on the field. That's about the 3rd time that's happened right there.
All right, Durkin to punt. Preston Harmon to back deep. Durkin gets off a nice kick. Harmon will let it roll. It'll go out of bounds at about the East Brunswick 40. It'll be spotted at the East Brunswick 41.
John, we talk about the gymnastics team now. I'm just doing a roll through this whole fall season. Yesterday, I don't know if the fans caught it, but the gymnastics team, the boys team, knocked off Middletown. And Middletown perennially is the team state champions, and I think that's a good indication. As a matter of fact, they scored 147 points. That's a new record for team points, so they're going to be going a long way this year.
All right, Forte brings them out. 1st and 10 on their own 41. High formation with Miller and Brunig in the backfield. Forte, this is Brunig. Nice hole. Brunig's up around midfield. He'll be short of the first down, but a fine run by Bill Brunig.
Great run, and you can't say enough about that offensive line. They're making the real key blocks at the point of attack.
A little bit of a fumble at the end of that play, but again, it was the same situation. The ball was went out of Billy's hands after he hit the ground.
If you're just joining us, we have 9 minutes to go here before halftime. East Brunswick leads 13-7, and they have the ball on the brick 49-yard line. Harmon now in the backfield with Miller. That's Miller. He'll be close to the first. We'll see where they mark it.
You know, on a hot, humid night like this,
First down, East Brunswick.
conditioning is definitely going to be a factor, and I think the fact that East Brunswick has already proven that it is a well-conditioned team has to put this game in their advantage.
So East Brunswick moves into brick territory.
Phil, does it appear that Brick seems a little down right now?
No, I think they're playing as well as they can. It's just that East Brunswick is taking it to them right now. East Brunswick's playing better.
Bears are on offense. This is press in motion. Forte fakes. He's going to throw. He's looking deep for press. Overthrown.
We got a little fight going on down there. Number 75, big kid, jumping on Brian Forte.
I think you try anything at this point.
No penalty flag, however.
Well, East Brunswick is showing a penchant to throw on first down, John.
I think the reason I said before, Marcus is rather relaxed. Marcus has confidence in his team, and I think Marcus wants to put some points on the board. A lot of points.
That incomplete pass brings up a 2nd and 10 for the Bears. The ball is on the brick 47-yard line.
Watch Mr. Harmon on this play.
It is Harmon with the ball. Flag is thrown. We may have a crackback. Harmon only picks up about 3 yards. And there's an injured brick player. It is a blocking below the waist call against East Brunswick. And there'll be a timeout on the field as the brick trainers attend to the injured player.
Yeah, I think we should point out that the blocking below the waist didn't occur on the young man that's down on the field.
No, you're right,
It happened
Phil.
to the near side.
Okay. That's a good point. I just like the way that play develops with Marks being in, as far back in the backfield and just pitching the ball and just going power right.
So we may have touched on it earlier, I don't recall, but there's another issue here down in this area, and that is there's a second high school in Brick Township, and that's Brick Memorial.
The coaches, I don't think it was sour grape, but they said about 4 years ago the system split and they created Brick Memorial, and they're just now starting to feel the effects of that split. They pointed out that even though they're a Group 4 school in South Jersey here, they probably would be considered a Group 3 school if they were in Central or Northern Jersey. They're only 50 kids above the qualifying level for Group 4. So that split with Brick Memorial certainly has had some effect on Brick High School.
Similar much to what we faced in Middlesex County in terms of the Madison Central Cedar Ridge split and what that did to their programs.
And even more so in Woodbridge Township, where you have 3 high schools, Colonia,
right.
J.F. Kennedy, and Woodbridge High.
How come it never happened in Edison with Edison and J.P. Stevens? It did, though. It did, though, early
It
on.
did have, yeah.
Gentlemen, what is the situation with the lights for the Madison Central game Thursday?
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute, Jim. I just want to set the stage here. There was a block below the waist call against East Brunswick, which has moved the ball back in East Brunswick territory. It's 2nd and 25 when the Bears come out of their huddle. And they do lead 13-7. Quickly about the lights, it's my understanding that the foundations are in, that the wires are being now connected, and it's just a matter of a couple days before the lights are up.
Okay.
All right, East Brunswick, 2nd and 25 from their own 39. Forte looking to throw. He's going to flip it out here for Jimenez, but over his head. Brings up a long 3rd down play.
You like Edwin Jimenez, don't you, Phil?
I like speed. I like speed. Edwin Jimenez has speed. I think he's come around this year whereby he can catch the ball. And I think if they get the ball out there to him, I think they get them out there on the fly or slanting across the middle, you're going to see Edwin Jimenez take off.
I don't see him in there, but Dave Potter, number 85, is an awful big target, and East Brunswick might try going to him once in a while.
3rd and 25 for East Brunswick now. Forte in a shotgun formation. Heavy rush on him. He's going to be dropped. I'll say this, I think that was a smart play on Brian. Rather than force the ball, hold on to it, take the loss, knowing that, Josh Miller has a good leg, could put Brick in the deep.
I don't know if it was a smart play. I don't think he had any choice in the matter. Brick was coming there. There actually was a man open. The young fellow we're talking about, Edwin Jimenez, was open, slanting towards the middle. Brian just did not see him.
4th and 25 now. 7 minutes and 6 seconds to go before a half, and Josh Miller will punt. Brick has 3 players. I think we're going to have a delay of game, and that's what it is against East Brunswick. So that'll move him back 5 more yards.
No, we don't have an ID on number 22 for Brick, do we? But,
yeah, Jim, he's Andy Ramsey.
Okay, I'm sorry. He's back deep, and the number 27 is also Mike DeCrosta.
Again, this is the first time I've ever seen a program like this.
Well, not only that, John, Coach Wolf wouldn't allow us, to get practically any of the numbers, not even his own people.
All right, so Miller will now punt from his own 30. Fine punt. That's going to drive Ramsey back to the 27 where he calls a fair catch. And a flag is thrown.
Sure. It was a fair catch called on that play, and 38 for Brick through a block on Oaken. That's going to bring him back 15 more yards. Quite honestly, I don't think he even knew that a fair catch had been called. Just saw the East Brunswick guy coming at him and just threw a block. Let his instincts take over. Boy, Phil, the turf really looks like it's starting to get chewed up down there.
Terrible. I'm surprised for a school like Brick to have the turf like that. Apparently they had some problems, but you can see plots of it just coming up, and the kids are kicking it out of the way and things of that sort. It's not a good type of field for a young athlete to be.
I'll tell you what, it makes you appreciate the work and effort put in at East Brunswick High School.
That's a good point, John. East Brunswick High has an excellent field, a beautiful field. I don't know who's responsible for the ground work.
I'll tell you what else is damaging about this penalty. It occurred after the play was over, so it's going to be a 1st and 25.
All right, and that ball is now marked at the 14-yard line of Brick. So they're deep in the hole. They trail 13-7 with 6:48 to go before halftime.
I thought Brick was going to get the ball in good field position also.
The Green Dragons come out on offense. They've got a long way to go here. A lot of movement on the Brick offense. Durkin, this is Melillo. Melillo maybe make it up to the 15. Bring up 2nd and about 9. I'm sorry, 2nd and about 24.
Marcus was saying that if he could do one thing differently than he did last week, is that to avoid giving the big play, and I think that's the situation here. If East Brunswick just sticks to its basic defense and outconditions Brick, stays away from the big play, they're going to be doing pretty well.
All right, 2nd and 24 for the Dragons. On their own 15, Durkin looking to throw, has to roll out of the pocket, lays it up there, it's going to be intercepted. Oh, Oaken had it in his hands and dropped it.
I'll tell you, Todd Durkin, the Brick quarterback, was very fortunate. He just threw that ball up for grabs, and the only reason it wasn't intercepted was because you had 2 hustling East Brunswick players back there, Oaken and Bill Brunegg, who was trying to snatch it out of the air.
Phil, that's an experience for you. The sophomore, East Brunswick is obviously waiting for the pass, and with that defensive backfield just ready to get, catch the thing, they're just going to lay back and wait for it. I'll tell you what, if I was Brick right here, I'd be very careful about what type of pass I throw on this play.
Well, we'll probably go to their tight end, Peter Hennigan. He's 6'2". They'll probably try to hit him with something quick. Let's see, number 86.
3rd and 24 now for Brick.
By the way, this is when Truss is at his best.
They're on their own 15. Durkin drops straight back. He's going to be sacked at the 10-yard line.
Sure. Kenny was in on that play. He just sort of found an opening and went right in.
Ted Pazinko as well. 4th down, and Brick will obviously punt the ball away.
East Brunswick should get the ball in really good field position. Harmon is out there this time with Truss, John.
Other than that first series, East Brunswick's defense has shut him down.
Yes, they have. Let's watch the reverse on this, John.
Durkin from his own end zone. Off the side of his foot, Press will call a fair catch and take it at the Brick 35, and East Brunswick has excellent field position. 5:25 to go before halftime.
Be real nice if they can get into the end zone with some sort of points this time. Give them more than a touchdown margin going into the halftime.
Well, you have to believe where they are right now, they're going to get some sort of points, unless they retreat.
That's right. Even if they advance no further than right now, Josh Miller could try a 55-yarder or 52-yarder.
East Brunswick on the Brick 35. They have 5:25 to go before half. 1st and 10. Here's Brunig off left side. Brunig fights his way for about 3 yards. Bring up a 2nd down.
I'll tell you, Larry Novak is so quick sometimes off that ball, he almost seems like he's offside. He snaps that ball and gets out there quickly.
I think one thing I'm sure Marcus Borton and his staff would like to see, and that is the reduction of penalties that hurt key drives, much like we saw last week in the Cherokee game. Anyway, it's 2nd and 8 for East Brunswick. Forte drops straight back, looking to throw. He's thrown it. Actually, there was a lineman there, and yes, it was picked up by the official.
Well,
Scott Brenowitz was the only East Brunswick player in the area.
I have to believe that Forte was honestly confused.
Apparently, an East Brunswick player was supposed to cut to the outside. Went the opposite way. They lose the down on that play also. So
moves the ball back 5 yards. And just as we said about penalties that could hurt drives, we have one right here. So now it's 3rd and 11 for East Brunswick. The ball has been moved back to the Brick 39-yard line.
John, I think it's about 3rd and 14.
All right. Yes, you're right, Jim. 14. No movement there. Press goes in motion. The handoff to DeVito. DeVito left side. He's got some room if he can turn it up. Steps out of bounds short of the 1st down.
That was a fine run. It really was. It's going to be short. I'm not so sure East Brunswick's not going to go for this.
4th and 3. The ball is spotted at the 27-yard line. And East Brunswick calls a timeout.
You know, this is well within Josh Miller's range, but I don't know. East Brunswick's shown an ability to be able to move the ball now pretty well. I have to think that they are going to go for it.
Well, if they used one of their timeouts, so I'd have to believe so too. There probably wasn't any real reason to call a timeout if they were going to use Josh Miller.
All right, we have 4 minutes and 36 seconds to go before halftime. East Brunswick leads 13-7. The ball is at the Brick 38-yard line, and East Brunswick's facing a 4th and 3, and have called the timeout to talk it over.
I'll tell you what, that perennial line of East Brunswick, Novak, Pazinko, and and Brenowitz. I'll tell you what, they're really starting to move people out now.
Miller is out on the field.
Here we go, starting to have to calculate now.
36 yards, or 35 and a half. Oh, now he's marking it back. That would be
about a 46-yarder.
46-yarder.
Josh Miller's out. He's working on the turf, doing a little groundskeeping of his own. This will be about a 46-yarder. He hit one from about this distance last week against Cherokee, so it's well within his range.
Let's watch Pruss on this, the holder. You know, he's a fine athlete and he can throw the ball, so this could also be a fake.
4th and 3, Josh Miller with the field goal attempt, 47 yards. It's up, and it's off to the left. Had the distance, though. And Brick will take over right there, 1st and 10.
You know, unlike college or pro, when a field goal attempt is missed, the ball goes back to the 20-yard line instead of the line of scrimmage. I think as more and more high school players become proficient in field goals, they're going to have to change that rule.
Good point, Jim. I didn't pick that up. I thought the ball went back to the East Brunswick line of scrimmage. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Dragons on their own 20-yard line. We've got 4:30 to go before halftime. And the Dragons trail the Bears 13-7. That's Durkin, handoff, fakes the handoff, looking over the middle of Hennigan, he's got him. First down, across the 35-yard line. Great play faking by Durkin. He had me fooled, quite honestly.
Nice job on that. Hennigan made a nice grab out in front of him.
I'll tell you what, I'm still watching for East Brunswick to pick the ball off because I think with the time left on the clock, 4:20, Rick wants to move the ball. I think they want to do it through the air, and this is just when East Brunswick is at its best.
I'll check that for you, Phil. Right now, Brick has a 1st and 10 on their own 37. Pass is complete by Durkin. I didn't see who made the reception for Brick.
I just can't believe some of the shots Joey DeVito was giving these guys. Yeah, Joey DeVito and Dave Novak who really laid it into the receiver.
You're right, Phil. That was Farley. On that play, that was Hennigan who made that reception.
Clock is moving.
2nd and 7. The ball rests at the Brick 40. We're down to 3:28. Brick trails 13-7. Durkin drops straight back. He's got his man on the left side here.
That's a good play by Brick. Was able to get East Brunswick in a man-to-man coverage, and Billy Brunning had to cover that play on.
John, we don't have that number in our program, number 89, so we don't even know who the kid is.
Mystery player.
It's Steve Lewis. I've just been told by the Brick spotter. Steve Lewis.
Bill Brunig on the tackle there. Possibly a game-saving tackle. It looked simple, but he had to make a clean tackle. The guy was in the open field.
Phil, Brick seems to like to delay that tight end across. Anyway, another 1st down. Brick has the ball now in East Brunswick territory. The East Brunswick 47. A screen is being set up. This is Urado. Urado hit hard as he crosses the East Brunswick 40.
He's close to a 1st down. This will probably stop the clock for Brick.
Screener was set up nicely there.
We're down to 2:30.
Ted showed some speed there, John, coming across to make that tackle.
2:25 before half. Brick on the move. They trail 13-7. It's 2nd and 1 for Brick. The ball on the East Brunswick 37-yard line. Durkin. This is Malillo. And Malillo will have the 1st down. That stops the clock. 2 minutes.
It's really been a funny game this far. I mean, just when you think Rick has his life taken out of him, they seem to come back to life.
We had a lot of action the first couple minutes of the first period, and then it got very quiet there. And now as we come to the end of the half, action is heated up. We've got
still adjusting
down.
the change.
And the clock now will run. We're under 2 minutes. And East Brunswick calls a timeout. That's their 2nd.
Well, if there's an opportunity, if there's a time to use some trick plays, this is the time right here. Of course, East Brunswick does not want Brick to put any type of points on the board now. They had the momentum in the 2nd period, and of course it's been wrested away right now with this drive. And I think if anything, even if Brick doesn't score,
Nick
they have the momentum.
Spadafino out there, the defensive coordinator, and he's just getting his guys together. He's saying, "Listen, let's tighten up." He says, "We're giving them too much yardage, too much penetration, and we just got to be a lot tougher down here. We practice all week. We know how to do it. We show them that we can do it, and this is the time to tighten up." the mistake to loosen up right here. And Spadafino has done a fine job with the defense. The early stages, it's been East Brunswick's defense which has had to hold them into the game until the offense kept caught up.
I'm looking at the far side of the field. East Brunswick looks like they have brought down about 300 to 400 people. It's a nice crowd for an away game.
All right, when Brick gets over the ball, they'll have it 1st and 10 on the East Brunswick 35 with 1 minute and 56 seconds to go before halftime. The Bears are in the lead, 13-7. Durkin is dropping back to throw. He's got plenty of time, looking over the middle for 87. Farley, ball's incomplete. That'll stop the clock with 1:51, bring up a 2nd down.
Phil, in a situation like this, do you continue to put the pressure on the quarterback, or do you drop back and play?
Well, it's a young quarterback. We've seen him make some mistakes when pressure's been put on him. And I think if you can get to him quick enough, maybe you might be even force him into interception or something like that. So you got to have pressure on him anyway.
2nd and 10 at the East Brunswick 35. Brick has the ball. 1:51 to go before half. Durkin looking to throw again. He's being pressured. He's going to run with the ball, looking to get out of bounds, and he does. Good heads-up play. Stepped out around the 30-yard line.
Well, all the pressure this time came from the linemen. We didn't have a linebacker blitzing nothing. Everybody dropped back. So apparently they're showing the young quarterback more respect than I thought they would.
With the 3rd and 5, Brick essentially has 2 plays here because I know if they don't make it, they're going to go for it on the 4th down.
The ball is now at the East Brunswick 30-yard line. Durkin getting out of bounds, stops the clock with 1 minute and 44 to go.
They must jam Peter Hennigan at the line of scrimmage.
Durkin now fakes to Urado, flips it out to Melillo, and Melillo drops the ball. Wide open.
Yeah, a situation where he saw the territory in front of him before he caught the ball.
That stops the clock with 1 minute 40. It also brings up a 4th and 5.
I'm surprised Brick doesn't call a timeout here if they have any left.
It's just coaching philosophy. Some coaches don't like to stop momentum, and others need to stop and set their team. I don't like stopping momentum either. I like, you drill your team, let them go.
Ball is at the East Brunswick 30. Durkin fakes to Urado. Same play again to Melillo. He catches it this time. He's got the 1st down, and he's inside the 20. Clock is running.
Now we know why they didn't call timeout.
Clock will stop at 1:32 as they move the chains.
They call timeout now.
And Brick calls a timeout.
I'll tell you, that play came directly from Warren Wolf that time. And why shouldn't he come back to the same play? When they went to the play the first time, the guy was wide open. He just didn't catch the ball. They came right back with it, and now they have a 1st down.
All right, let me set the scene for everyone. We have 1 minute and 32 to go before the end of the 1st half. East Brunswick leads 13-7, but Brick is on the move. They have the ball at the East Brunswick 19-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10. And they've just called their 1st timeout.
Boy, the bugs are swirling around now, John.
I feel like I'm in some tropical area.
Certainly not a paradise.
I tell you, Jimmy, don't be surprised if Coach Warren Wolf comes back with the same play, either to the same side or the opposite side. East Brunswick hasn't shown that they can stop that or to protect them against something deeper, but they got to stop that because they can eat them up with that.
There's plenty of time, and Brick still has 2 timeouts remaining.
For the fans, John, I was going to say for the fans, we had hoped to get the halftime statistics, but Bill Munyon is going to be on the opposite side of the field. I'll try my best to get them, but no guarantees this time around. But I would say that probably we're pretty even in the statistical category.
Let me also mention, Jim, speaking of halftime, that at away games we are not able to feature the East Brunswick High School band.
Because they play at the beginning of the game, or before the game.
All right, 1st and 10 for Brick on East Brunswick 19. Durkin faking the ball, still has it, rolling left, putting it up in the corner, no one's there, he's just thrown that one away.
Right.
Heads up play by the sophomore.
Actually, they did come back with the same play to the other side, but East Brunswick did make the adjustments and had it covered this time.
Good observation, Phil. That's exactly what happened.
That stops the clock with 1:25 to go. 2nd and 10. Ball still on the East Brunswick 19. Brick trailing 13-7.
Sophomore quarterback rolls out. East Brunswick just does not seem to be able to catch him.
Durkin now. Shovel pass. That's Meggiolaro.
Didn't fool East Brunswick.
Timeout, Brick.
That's got to be their
Second timeout.
This is their second timeout. Okay, we got that straight. It's sort of curious, John, that Durkin kicks the ball with his left foot, but he throws with his right hand. But that was a quick shovel pass to the running back going up ahead.
Only about 4 yards on the play, so it brings up a 3rd and 6 for Brick. 1:19 to go before halftime.
Dave Novak, the senior that he is, shot from the opposite side of the field to make that tackle, and a good tackle. I'll tell you, look at Coach Warren Wolf. He's the only coach that Brick Township has, Brick High School has had. 28 years he's been coaching. And another strange thing about that is all his assistants, with the exception of one, have played for him.
Oh, that is an amazing statistic. Of course, Warren Wolf, one of the deans of high school football in the state of New Jersey. Here he is coming off the field with our cameras on him.
1:19 to go for Brick. 3rd and 6. Durkin looking to set up that screen. He's got it, Murillo, and he's got snuffed out by around the 20-yard line.
Good defensive play by East Brunswick.
Is it a fumble?
We're waiting to see.
I think East Brunswick thought that they had the ball, but the referee just stopped the clock to spot the ball again. That brings up a 4th down now, 4th and 12. Field goal attempt?
The ball is back at the 20. I think so, Jim.
The fans on the East Brunswick side seem to think there was a fumble there, but they're not going to get their way.
Durkin, who does the kicking off, is coming off the field, so he is obviously not the field goal kicker. Looks like a lineman, John. Number 72, or is that a single number?
I can't pick up the number, Jim,
Yeah.
to tell you the truth. Anyway, Brick going for the field goal. Flag down.
Number 77 is the number.
And with this program, it could take us another half to find out who he is.
Yeah, I have him listed as Rick Humiston. He's a junior, 6 foot, 200 pounds.
That sounds good to me.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know. Maybe we've been spoiled by Josh Miller, but
that was not well executed, was it?
No, if that's any indication of the range this fella has, then they're going to be in trouble. They're going to have to come up with another play.
Brick takes their last timeout.
And Durkin's coming back onto the field, so I have to wonder if they're going to have a field goal attempt this time. They might just go for it all here.
41 seconds remain. It's 4th and 12, and the ball
That's exactly
is at the East Brunswick 25.
So Brick takes a 5-yard penalty to find out they don't have a field goal kicker.
We've definitely been spoiled by Josh Miller. Take my word.
Okay.
I think these bugs are getting to all of us. Anyway, Brick is talking it over with head coach Wolf, and the starting offensive backfield is back in. So I think you're right, Jimmy. I think they're going to one last gasp attempt at getting it into the end zone.
Right.
They have 41 seconds, but they have no timeouts now after this. And the ball is sitting on the East Brunswick 25. A very long 2 minutes here before half.
You won't see him go to the halfback this time. They got to go deep, and I got to believe they're going to go to Henneke.
Watch for that tight end coming across the middle. Anyway, Durkin calling signals. They're going for it. They could get the first down. Durkin looking to throw up in the end zone. He's got a man. Clips makes a beautiful play. Knocks the ball down at the last second.
That was one great individual effort on Ken Press.
That's all you can call it. Great defensive effort by King Plus.
And East Brunswick takes over with 35 seconds.
Well, that saves a touchdown. Nice effort by Brick, though. The fans are giving him some applause as they come off the field. Has to instill a little bit of confidence that was lost during the middle portion of the first period.
You're right, Jimmy. That's nice to see.
Now, 35 seconds left in this half. Let's wing it, huh?
East Brunswick has it on their own 25 now. 1st and 10. We'll see what happens. Forte hands off. That's Brunig.
Brunig up the middle.
Brunig's got some room. He can pick up a block.
Oh, great. Get out of bounds.
He can get out of bounds. And he does. No, they're running the clock. Now they call time.
Bill Brunig.
What a run.
He's sensational.
Sorry, fans, if we thought we were coaxing him along here. We saw the block. That was a great block by Jimenez.
Smart block by Jimenez in that he didn't clip the man.
A good move by Brunig.
Timeout by East Brunswick here.
No, that is their third, so they have no timeouts remaining.
That's it.
22 seconds. The ball is on the Brick 30-yard line. And East Brunswick leads 13-7, and Brunig's getting a well-deserved rest after that run.
Plus my daughter's been a cheerleader. I've been following Pop Warren, following most of these guys all the time. And these guys have only been, I think Brunig and Miller, they've only been on maybe 4 or 5 losing games during their career. During Pop Warner, they've gone undefeated just about on every level. The freshman year, they had a good year, and the guys after them went undefeated. So they're not used to losing at all.
I just want to mention something about what the sport is all about. As Bill Brunig walked off the field, the East Brunswick side gave him a standing ovation.
Yeah.
And again, that's what this is all about. This is high school athletics.
A lot of pride now at East Brunswick.
All right. Forte, a weird formation, heavy to the left side. I don't know how else to describe it. Forte rolls left, looking to throw for Pruss, over his head and incomplete. 17 seconds now remain.
Well, if he chose to go for Pruss, he had Mark Harmon open in the flat there, and right about the first down mark.
They had Miller, Harmon, and Pruss on the left side.
Well, what they do, Coach Gordon likes to flood an area and challenge a team to stop it. What they'll do is send the back to the flat, Pruss down about normally about 20 yards, and then they'll send Jimenez further.
All right, 2nd and 10 for East Brunswick. They're on the Brick 30, 17 seconds before half.
Same formation.
And Forte rolls again to his left. He's got Pruss again. Pruss makes a nice catch. Pulls it down, 9-yard line.
Whoops, there goes a flag.
Flag is thrown.
I didn't see that call.
I'm wondering if they're going to call Pruss for throwing the ball away.
That might be the call.
9 seconds.
There didn't seem to be a Brick player near the
It's a first down, or it was enough for a first down. Discussion now with the Brick side.
If this is an unsportsmanlike call, and we don't know that it is yet, let's bring the ball back to the 25-yard line. The officials are looking towards the East Brunswick side.
Well, I think what happened is after Pruss made the catch.
Wait a minute, yeah, it's against Brick.
Now, let's see, hold on.
Referee is pointing towards the Brick side here. I guess we better be quiet and just wait to see what happens. Now he's pointing towards the East Brunswick side.
I think what happened.
5-yard penalty.
A delay of game penalty for Pruss throwing the ball.
Exactly.
That's the call.
Exactly.
You got it.
So it's 9 seconds. No time taken off the clock.
Here comes the field goal attempt.
But it's a first down. The ball is at the 15-yard line of Brick, and Josh Miller out.
32-yard attempt, John.
All right, Miller from 32 yards out. Kick is up. And it's good, Josh Miller. That'll extend East Brunswick's lead to 16-7 with 3 seconds to go.
Phil, big points, right?
Well, good points. Good points.
Big points in the sense that now that gives them more than a touchdown cushion going into halftime.
I'm looking very closely, and I think East Brunswick is certainly in control of things, even though Rick, during the latter part of this quarter, showed some firepower.
I'm sure Warren Wolf is not happy about that turn of events right there. Brick had an opportunity to get in, get some points of its own shortly before halftime, and then Bruning breaks out of the backfield with that run. He sort of looked like he was hidden, and he's all of a sudden he emerged from the play and just scooted down to the 35-yard line. Forte was able to connect on that pass to Pruss.
Yeah.
It was the delay of game, and good call. They went to get the points on the board.
I'll tell you, it started with Pruss with a great defensive play.
That's correct.
Back there, and it ended with Pruss with a great catch there.
Another thing to point out is that Bruning had the presence of mind and the experience to get out of bounds.
Yes, he did.
And give East Brunswick that opportunity to maintain the ball with enough time. So Josh Miller, with 3 seconds left, will kick off. Fine kick deep into the end zone.
Well, I think they ought to run it out.
And I guess you can't run it out in high school.
I guess so.
I wasn't aware of that.
I'll have to confess I wasn't either.
3 seconds. East Brunswick leads 16-7. Rick will have the ball on their own 20.
And I'll have to tell you, that field goal has kind of deflated this crowd.
I think it was more Brunig's run that really took the starch out of him. But there's a whole half to go yet. And Durkin will go down to one knee, and that'll be it for the first half, with East Brunswick in the lead, 16-7. Quickly, your assessment, Bill.
Well, I'll tell you, East Brunswick showed great character. I think they built that character last week against Cherokee, and here they came out early. Brick took the ball down and scored upon them right away, and they came right back and challenged Brick. Defensively, they seem to go in spurts. They played very well at times, and the next time, Brick seems to do what they want. East Brunswick certainly is in well control of the game, however.
The only thing that comes to my mind right now is conditioning. It was about an hour and 10-minute half. It's a little bit long for high school football, and as you mentioned, it was kind of slow going there towards the end of the second quarter. And we got to wonder now, how the heat and humidity has taken the physical conditioning or the starch out of some of these players. So the second half is, good for East Brunswick.
All right, we'll be back with the second half in just a few minutes. Welcome to Channel 8 Sports in the second half of the East Brunswick Brick game. East Brunswick leads 16-7, and quickly to run down the scoring for you, East Brunswick scored in the first quarter. Mark Harmon going 64 yards, put East Brunswick out in front 7-0. Brick came back with Uredo, the running back, going 6 yards to tie the score at 7-0. And then with 11:50 to go before half, Bruning went 6 yards. A 2-point conversion play failed. East Brunswick was in the lead 13-7. And then Josh Miller, with only 3 seconds left before the half, kicked a 33-yard field goal to make it 16-7. And that's where we are as we get ready for the third period. Phil, it's a typical Brick team in the sense that they do a lot of different things on offense, a lot of speed, but they really don't seem to have the size to match up with East Brunswick.
John, as I said before, I think the effects of the split has affected Brick. Again, last year was just a terrible year for them. They seem like they're going to have a much better team than they did last year, but I think time is just catching up with them. Some of the people are starting to question, as I said, Coach Warren Wolf is also the deputy superintendent of school. Is he given as much time as he did in the past and things of that sort? But today, if we're talking about today, East Brunswick is just outplaying them.
Jimmy, East Brunswick, I'm sure Marcus Borden has to be pleased with the running of Bruning and Harmon.
Yeah.
They've looked outstanding, and that a lot to be said about that offensive line.
Yeah, John, I do think I maintain that the 3 points that they were able to score just before the halftime just puts a little different shade on the game, at least as far as East Brunswick's offense is concerned. Being up by more than a touchdown allows them to play a little more relaxed, not having to think that they have to get another score into the end zone, because they do have that more than one touchdown cushion. So it could put a little wrinkle into the offense, and it also allows the defense to take a few more chances and do some different things.
All right, East Brunswick will kick off. Josh Miller as the teams come out on the field to start the second half. Let me say that the reason we are not doing our pre-game or post-game shows or even our halftime show on camera is that because of the lighting here, we don't have enough light to cover us specifically. But of course, people are only looking in for the game anyway. They don't want to see us.
Besides that, John, they wouldn't want to look at us now. Right now, we're all drenched from the humidity that's up here in the booth.
And bugs all over us. All right, Josh Miller getting ready. Start the second half. Here we go, a short kick. Miller trying to drop it into that empty zone there. He does that. It's pitched back. This is Ramsey. Ramsey finds a little running room. And they've taken away the yard markers for halftime, so
oh gosh.
we're looking, we'll take a guess and say it's the Brick will have the ball on their own 33-yard line.
I think somebody has it out for you, John.
Believe me, it's not easy when the markers are out there.
Okay, let's watch this series. And again, I think we ought to also emphasize the conditioning factor. If anything, it's getting hotter. More humid, damper.
Okay, Durkin brings out the Green Dragons of Brick. First and 10. This is Melillo. Melillo will pick up about a yard, and that's it. We've just started the third period here. East Brunswick leads 16-7.
John, I see 75. Sean Smith, the sophomore tackle, 6 foot, 230 pounds in there. So I think Marcus is going to start to spell some players. Larry Novak, 72. He's over the line. Sprinowitz, 65.
Sean is my neighbor, by the way, and he's a big boy.
He sure is.
Durkin, 2nd and 9 now for Brick. Melillo again. Pitch back. East Brunswick recover the fumble. It was a fake to Melillo, a pitch back to Urado.
33, Rob Schaefer on that. You know, he started to run with the ball and try to pick up, and then he realized he was going to have some trouble. Did the next best thing and fell on the ball. So, break for East Brunswick here.
And that's the first turnover of the game. East Brunswick will have the ball on the Brick 20.
That's a big break. Brick has come out and it looked a little shaky early on, unlike the first half.
Let's see if East Brunswick tries to strike quick.
All right, we have Miller and Brunig in the backfield with Forte. First and 10, that's Brunig, left side. Brunig will pick up maybe a yard. That'll bring up 2nd and 10, 2nd and 8 rather, for East Brunswick. We have an official's timeout. I think equipment problem. And it apparently was taken care of.
Phil, this is when I like to see the ball. Well, not what I like to see, but I think East Brunswick likes to use Mark Harmon. Deep in the backfield, pitch the ball to him.
Harmon is in there as the I-back. Forte looking to throw. He's going to put it up for the left side. That's Pruss. Pruss fighting a Brick man to get into the end zone.
Good defensive coverage by the Brick player there.
Yeah.
Pruss almost leaned over and made a great catch though.
Well, Ken had his eye on the ball, and the Brick player just happened to be right in his way and just did the job.
Phil and Jimmy, I would think that if East Brunswick scores here, this takes Brick out of any game plan they might have had.
They're going to have to play catch-up, and with the Delaware T, they're going to have to go to a lot more passing, and that will take them out of the game.
Yeah, I would think we can look forward to seeing a lot of passing by Brick this half.
All right, 3rd and 9. East Brunswick on the Brick 19-yard line. Miller and Brunig again in. Forte on a quarterback keeper. There's going to be a motion called on Forte. I believe he started to go without the ball.
He sure did. He audibled himself and saw the opening. Just took that quick step with his left foot before he got the ball from center.
And that's something Marcus Gordon has given Forte the right to do. If he comes up to the line and sees something that isn't correct, he can audible there. He can check at the line of scrimmage and do a different play. He tried to do it there, and it was somewhat busted.
All right, so the procedure call moves the ball back to the Brick 25.
John, you know, it's almost getting routine for me to look on a third down to see where the field goal attempt would be if East Brunswick's not successful.
3rd and 14 now for East Brunswick. Forte fakes the Brunig. It's being pressured, looking for press over the middle, and it's over his head. Kenny was open.
Okay, here comes Josh.
And Josh Miller will trot out.
The ball will be marked or spotted on the 25, so it would be a 32 from the 32-yard line, a 42-yard attempt. Josh has been good, what, one time on 2 attempts?
If you've just joined us, East Brunswick's in the lead 16-7, and Josh Miller is going to attempt, let's see, what?
42 yards.
42 yards.
This is well within his range.
Ball is down, the kick is up.
It's long enough.
And it's to the right, no good. Plenty of foot, just off to the right. So Brick takes over on their own 20.
Dodges a bullet.
Yeah, more importantly, you're right, Jim. I get a sense that there's a very lethargic feeling now, both on the field and obviously here in the booth.
Well, it may have something to do with the mugginess that's here. I don't know about on the field, but I know right here.
Gordon choosing to use Pazinko only on the offensive line and replacing him with Sean Smith. Boy, he is a formidable figure right on top of that nose.
Okay, Durkin brings him out. 1st and 10 on their 20. 24.
Quick reaction on the East Brunswick part there. It looked like Serrato was the runner? Yeah, okay. Looked like he had an opening there, but Brunig came right up to stop the play. Only got 1 yard on it.
All East Brunswick defensive backs close down fast. I mean, you may break through, but they're going to close in on you quickly.
Extreme quickness.
Urado only picked up 1 yard, so it's 2nd and 9 for the Green Dragons. Ball on their own 21. That's Malillo. Malillo, nice run. He's up by the 30-yard line.
Yeah, I think he's just beyond the 1st down marker.
These brick backs, I said before, are small, but that was a good hard-nosed run by that young man.
They've been showing offense in spurts here, but made the mistake once in a while. Novik is going off.
1st down for Brick. The ball at the East Brunswick at their own 29. Brick's 29. 8:27 to go here in the 3rd period. Brick trailing 16-7. And that's Urado.
Tony DiGiovanni has replaced Larry Novik over the nose guard right now. So Marcus is substituting freely here. And I think it's a good idea. I really do. I know we keep on saying it, but it is really hot and humid out in the field and up here in the booth.
2nd and 8 for Brick. The ball on their own 32. Durkin still has it. Thrown over the middle. Malillo. Russ misses the tackle, but gets up and makes it. Malillo fights. He may be close to a 1st down.
Great 2nd and 3rd effort by Malillo. And that play has hurt East Brunswick in the 1st half, and they're coming back into the game. For some reason or another, when they do it on the right side, they are not able to shut it down.
Okay, the Bears are going to have to tighten up now.
1st down, Brick.
Novak in, Brenowitz out.
Ball is spotted at the Brick 42.
Novak over the center.
Early 3rd quarter action here. Durkin fakes, he's got the ball still. Throws it outside for Malillo, underthrown. So the incomplete pass will stop the clock, bring up a 3rd and 10.
I'll tell you, if Brick has to play catch-up ball, and that's what they have to do right now,
yeah,
they look like they're going to be in trouble. The passing game just doesn't look too well for them.
Well, you know, it's interesting. You know, you can roar a defense in tight, which is, you just got to watch Durkin's ability to just drop back and throw a bomb, because he's certainly capable of doing that. So let's not be caught off guard here.
I'm sorry, it's a 2nd and 10 for Brick. Durkin hands off to Jurado. Jurado's got some running room. He'll pick up about 9 yards.
We're plugging away.
He's the money back. He's a small guy, but he can press about 325 pounds, according to the defensive coach. 350 pounds, I've been corrected.
I get the sense that Brick will kind of just nickel and dime you, wear you down that way. It's 3rd and about 1. Durkin to Jurado. Jurado's got the first down. Hit hard by Brunick. But it'll be another first down for Brick.
Brick crosses midfield now.
The ball is spotted on I what believe is the 41-yard line of East Brunswick. I have no idea, to tell you the truth.
That's the 45, John.
I had a marker there and someone moved. Anyway, it's 1st and 10 for the Dragons. Durkin. Same play. Cross. Picks up about 8 yards.
How many times have they pulled that play off?
Too many times, Jim, I tell you. They stopped it when it came to the left side, but every time they tried to the right side, they have not made adjustments to stop it. And not surprised, Coach Spadafino is coming out, and he's going to make that adjustment on the field here. He's going to try to find out who's not doing the proper assignment to shut that down.
Well, East Brunswick calls the first time out of the 2nd half. They're in the lead 16-7 with 5 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the 3rd period. And Brick is mounting a rather sustained drive. Nothing big, nothing flashy, but they're moving down the field.
Well, Coach Warren Wolf is a veteran coach, and he's going to take what East Brunswick's given. Right now, East Brunswick's giving that, so he's taking it. He's not looking to do anything else but to take what is open until East Brunswick shuts it down. And to this point, they have not shut that down.
The ball is marked just shy of the East Brunswick 35. It'll be 2nd and 2 when Brick comes over the ball.
I might add that when you're playing a 46 defense, you do take some chances when you go to a zone coverage. What do you think that Spadafino is telling the players right now? What kind of adjustment do they make in a situation?
I think it's a technical adjustment. I mean, it's not no rah-rah, let's go boys. He's making a technical adjustment to make sure that man is covered.
I see Pruss over on the left side now.
All right, 2nd and 2 for Brick. Jurado trying to get to the outside. He's going to be short of it.
Kenny Pruss came all the way over from the other side of the field.
Players
That's not us talking,
excited.
You know, it's such a great football tradition down here at Brick Township. I have to think that the fans are just a little bit frustrated that that the team has not been coming out of the gate like they thought it would this year.
Jurado picks up 1. It'll be 3rd and 1.
You can look for Jurado again on this carry.
Full house backfield for Brick. They flank a man off now to the right. Durkin, here he is, number 30, first down. That was ball hack. If he kept his feet, he may have been looking at 6.
I guess East Brunswick defense was going like I was going, looking at Jurado. And Bohack came around and made a nice game.
Okay, Brick apparently wants to make this an interesting ball game. Now is the time to start shutting down this drive right here.
Ball's at the East Brunswick 29, 1st and 10 for Brick, 4:17 to go here in the 3rd period. East Brunswick in the lead 16-7, but Brick is moving down.
Gentlemen, I just saw a flash of lightning on the horizon.
Durkin with the ball, looking. He's got a man all by himself and overthrows him. He had Lewis out there by himself, and Durkin just overthrew it.
I tell you, John, I just can't help thinking that with the exception of the fumble that Brick had down there, they're coming out like they did the first quarter, and East Brunswick seems to be responding like they were responding in the first quarter. Missed assignments, and Brick's going to take advantage of them sooner or later.
Of course, on that particular play, the decoy was Meggiolaro going out on the flat like he has before, except this time Durkin chooses to go long.
All right, 2nd and 10 for Brick. The ball at the East Brunswick 29. Durkin looking to pass, got plenty of time. Has Meggiolaro short of the first down. I'm sorry, that was Troutwaller.
Hard to pick up these numbers, John. Okay, we got a big play here. 3rd down and about 6. Ball is on the 25-yard line.
I really don't think Brick has a field goal kicker, so they may go for 2. I mean, 2 downs here.
Let's go!
3rd and 6. Ball at the East Brunswick 25. Durkin has it. Looking to throw. He's going to run. He's got some room. Nice run by Durkin. Inside the 15. First down, Brick.
Great run by the sophomore. All his receivers are covered. He did a little jiggle jaggle. I'm surprised. Nice movement though.
First and 10, Brick on the East Brunswick 14-yard line. They trail 16-7. 1st and 10. Durkin has the ball.
Nobody's open there.
He's going to be safe. It's knocked out of his hands, but recovered by Brick.
Yes, that would have been a fumble.
Adam moves the ball back to the 25.
John, this drive has consumed the better part of this 3rd period. We're almost down to 2 minutes and 20 seconds now. Big play for East Brunswick there.
Let's call it 2nd and 20. The ball at the East Brunswick 25.
Soft mechanic on that tackle there. Very important play.
Has some time. He's throwing it out to the right side. No one's there.
Yeah, he threw it out of bounds. Okay, 3rd down now.
Bring up 3rd and 20.
East Brunswick had good pressure on him on that last play. I'll tell you, that time, the young quarterback really did look like a sophomore. He threw with nothing but the arm and off the back foot and everything.
Now, the things that have been working for Brick Township on this drive, the misdirection and the rollout and everything like that, they cannot use in this situation because East Brunswick knows they have to throw or they can use the screenplay here. So it just, I think East Brunswick is in much better shape in a situation like this.
3rd and 20 at the East Brunswick 25. Durkin rolls to his left. He's got the ball. He's going to run with it. He's going to be dropped short of the 10. Far from the first down.
Dave Novak on the tackle there. And it seems like Brick is going to go for a field goal here.
Well, we know from the last try, 77, Hammerstein was the field goal kicker, but now Durkin, the left-footed kicker, is going to try. And if this is a real attempt, it'll be from about the 20-yard line, so it'll be a 30-yard attempt.
Okay, he is the quarterback. You got to be careful of the fake.
Durkin, the ball's down, the kick is up. It's good, and Durkin a 30-yarder. With 58 seconds to go here in the 3rd period.
Wasn't pretty, but a low trajectory. that field goal attempt went through.
You know, Jim, I don't know.
That makes the score East Brunswick 16, Brick 10.
Looks like rain is coming in the distance here. I sure hope that doesn't happen at this time. I was getting ready to say, Jim, I don't know about this East Brunswick team. They look like they have to be threatened before they show great intensity. I mean, they came out, they're seemingly a little lackadaisical, and I didn't see any great intensity out there.
Yeah, well, I think the misdirection helped on that drive a lot. But the fact remains now, it's less than a touchdown advantage for East Brunswick, 16-10. And no longer can they afford to feel comfortable and do the things that that they've been doing at the beginning of the second half. I think Forte is just going to have to move this ball club down to another score.
All right, 58 seconds to go here in the third period. East Brunswick will receive. They have Pruss, Brunig, and Harmon back deep. They lead 16-10. But I have to agree with you, Phil. They look very lethargic. The wind has kicked up a little bit, which leads me to believe that rain is in the offing.
This is probably the Jesse James return, so that means they'll hand off. This time they'll hand it off, maybe, instead of fake the return.
Okay, Durkin will kick it off as soon as he gets the grass laid down. Here's the kick. It's going to be Harmon once again. He gives the Pruss on a reverse. Pruss looking around the left sideline. We've been taken out close to the 40-yard line.
Okay, needless to say, this is a very important set of downs. I think East Brunswick has to reassert themselves offensively. Defensively, as I said, the intensity seemed to be lacking. Offensively, they have to come out and put something on the board.
Okay, they said that Pruss stepped out at the 35, so East Brunswick will take over there. 1st and 10. 50 seconds to go here in the third period. It's Miller and Harmon in the backfield with Forte. This is Harmon with the ball, right side.
He's got room.
Can get a block. He's still on his feet. And he'll pick up about 5 yards on the play.
Good running by Mark again.
Perhaps we'll see East Brunswick stick to the ground game now. Reestablish it.
2nd and 5. Harmon picks up 5 in that carry. 22 seconds to go before the end of this period. And this may be the last play of the third quarter. Harmon again, left side. Good running. Harmon close to the first down. He'll be short. And that should be it for the third period. And so the end of the third period, East Brunswick leads 16-10.
Well, Brick is noticeably showing a lot more emotion now.
I'll tell you, the yell from the crowd just a little while ago was 4, meaning fourth quarter is Brick. But I don't know, after the Cherokee game last week, the one thing that Marcus Gordon was probably most proud of was the fact that in the fourth quarter, his team was the toughest. In the fourth quarter, his team had the most endurance.
That's a good point.
When Cherokee players were falling out all over the place with cramps and whatnot, his players that were going both ways were sucking it in and putting it out. And it's fourth quarter, so it remains to be seen who will dominate the fourth quarter here. I gotta believe it's going to be East Brunswick.
All right, as we start the last 12 minutes of the game, East Brunswick will have a 3rd and 1 on their own 44. And you're right, there is lightning in the background.
Okay, this is a big play here. 3rd and 1. East Brunswick definitely wants to retain possession.
And East Brunswick has 2 sophomores in the backfield, DeVito and Harmon. That's a pitch to Harmon, right side. He's got the first down and a little more as he crosses midfield.
So, 3 carries in a row by Mark Harmon. 15 yards.
And while it doesn't seem like much, that may be the most important first down of the game.
I agree with you, Phil. They did not want to give the ball up without at least asserting themselves offensively again. And now they have all the makings of a sustained drive. They do not have to put it up in the air all the time.
The rain is starting to rain, a few drops anyway. East Brunswick has the ball right at midfield, 1st and 10. Forte looking to throw, he pumps, lays it up there, intended for Jimenez.
I'll tell you, a very dangerous pass. His arm, I think, was hit at the time he tried to pass, and that could have come down short and anything could have happened. The people are starting to scatter right now, John, because the rain is starting to come.
We may have to scatter in a few moments too.
I'll tell you.
I don't want to be staying with all this electrical equipment on me. Lightning. Anyway, Peter, our cameraman, and I want to mention Pete Catamessa is our cameraman and does an excellent job. He's already pulled out the baggie, cover himself. Anyway, Forte with Harmon, left side. Harmon hit hard, gains maybe a yard. That'll bring up 3rd and 9. Under 11 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. East Brunswick 3rd and 9. The ball just crossed midfield. They lead 16 to 10. Forte rolls right, looking to throw. Fires it up.
There's Press.
Nice comeback move.
And that was a big play, John.
Great move by Brian Forte. Great patience. And he got the ball right there.
There it is. Just when they need that big play, Brian Forte connects with Kenny Pruss.
They're a big play man. You argued with me before about who might have been the best back in East Brunswick. I don't think there's any question about the receiver, Barry Flanagan.
Yeah.
Barry Flanagan, up till now, anyway, has been the best receiver I've ever seen for East Brunswick.
Of course, he never had an opportunity to play his senior year.
Sure didn't. What a shame.
Okay, East Brunswick 1st and 10 on the brick 22. They're on the move. Here's Miller into the middle of that line. He'll get to the 20 and he'll just stop right there.
Of course, it did not appear as though Miller had much running room, but the East Brunswick line now is starting to move forward, surge forward, and that can be an indication that they are the better conditioned team. Rain coming down a little harder, guys?
At least on this side of the booth it is.
I have to mention I'm on just a portion of the underhang, or the overhang of the press booth, so I'm not feeling it as much as the other guys are.
All right, East Brunswick, 2nd and 8 on the brick 20. Forte rolls left. Looking up for Pruss. He's got it. Touchdown, East Brunswick. Ken Pruss. Nice touch on the ball by Forte.
A super grab by Kenny Pruss. Kenny Pruss outfought the defensive back there and snared the ball for a touchdown. You know, it seems like I talk about Pruss an awful lot, but he's just a great athlete. I guess the biggest worry is if I was a college coach coming to look at Kenny Pruss is to figure out what I would like to have him for as a receiver or a defensive back.
All right, here we go on the extra point.
All right, Josh Miller out. It's 23-10, East Brunswick. Miller looking to add the 24th point. Kick is up, it's good. East Brunswick goes into the lead. I'm sorry, 22-10.
John, I go back to what I said before.
Excuse me, Phil, let me just get the score straight here. 23-10, my notes are all watered out. Unfortunately, we are gonna have to stop broadcasting at this point. The weather is such that we cannot risk ruining the cameras or facing any kind of electrical shock on our part. So let us unfortunately say goodbye at this point. Let me just say there's 9:35 to go here in the game. East Brunswick on top, 23-10. We thank you for being with us, and we apologize that we can't continue, but be with us for October 2nd, and we'll be there with you for the Madison Central game as East Brunswick makes history and has their first night game.